pulse of the background screening industry. Brought to you by iCubed Advisors.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's webinar number 3, guys. And if you've been joining me in the series before, welcome back. And if this is your first time, I'm so happy to have you. I'm so grateful that you're spending a very ambitious 30 minutes with me to cover a whole lot of information. So I'm going to get straight into it. This is 3 steps to sales growth in 2025. We are focusing specifically on CRAs and background screening industry. So a systematic blueprint for CRAs, marketing, and sales teams. So guys, it's an exciting time because we have been working really hard on this material for you in my partnership with iCubed. What we aim to do is give businesses tools that help grow their business, right? It's pretty simple mission, but there's a variety of ways you can go about it. So for today, what we're going to do is go over the online course that I've created that puts in your hands at a really reasonable cost. In fact, like more than reasonable, in my personal opinion, cost of what it would, better, basically, as if you hired a consultant. What I am doing is now making my consultant work available to many, many more folks, making it in a cost-effective way, giving you a tool that's on demand so that you can learn as you go and adopt, rewind, go back, and continue on your growth plan. And so let's without further ado get into what we're talking about here. And what I want to kick off with is this is Ann Beecher. She's a client of mine, cutting edge background investigations. She also volunteers with PBSA. She reviews many of the proposals for speaking engagements at the conferences. I know she just got done doing mid-years. So Ann is a client of mine. I have been working with her on really systemizing and organizing her revenue growth systems. And these are some kind words she said about me. And the reason I'm doing this is, is it to toot my own horn? Yeah, to some degree. But I think that, as we all know, as salespeople, as marketers, social proof is very important. And understanding that there are real life humans that have adopted the system that I'm about to show you. And it's helped them really revolutionize their business. And I think what's most important for Anne specifically is that, and she always forwards it to me, but she gets feedback, especially from her direct clients. And it really, really helps her relationships with them in the marketing strategies, in the simplified way that we're upping the game of communications, both to prospects when you're out hunting for new business, but then also all the important relationships that you have and those account growth strategies. I'm really, really big on client success and account growth and gaining the longest and best, lifetime value that you can out of every client. When you're doing it well, it's a mutual relationship. And so that is the one really big win that we've been able to do with Anne. So who am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? If you have seen any of my content before, I've been working with iCubed for the past year. I am a marketing and sales consultant, but I really kind of do a lot with also organizational development and really just, my key strength is aligning teams to have them work together cohesively. I do a decent amount of sales coaching and a lot of marketing coaching just to help companies who are struggling with, like, maybe your messaging is off, or maybe you just really need to kind of like modernize and update. I hear that a lot in our industry. So where did I come from? You may be familiar, you might have remembered me from a PBSA, virtual or in-person conference or two. I was the president and CEO of a company called Social Intelligence. We sold Social Intelligence to Fama Technologies in 2023. And so ever since, I've been working as a consultant. My biggest claim to fame with Social Intelligence is a lot of the marketing and positioning and messaging that I did with a social media background screening product that could be quite controversial and really pioneering kind of the messaging and the understanding and the education and a lot of the content that we had to create in order to solidify social media background screening as a great and a really strong, especially upsell for CRAs and revenue stream. So pick my brain on social media stuff anytime. I could write several books on it, not just one. Um, my other claim to fame is that I am a LinkedIn learning instructor. So while I was running social intelligence and having two babies and all sorts of other things that were going on in my life, of course, it was like, what else could I do? No, I was approached by a producer to see if I wanted to create online content, online learning content as a LinkedIn learning instructor. And so I did. You can go if you find my LinkedIn profile, you can navigate to my courses online. All that's to say, that experience, I have finally put it all together. Social intelligence ran as a CRA, so we had a direct revenue stream, B2B marketing, kind of traditional. I created a traditional sort of SaaS revenue systems and operation, which we're going to discuss today. Um, and then we also had partnerships with over 100 CRA partners. So I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the giants, the smalls, everybody in between. I've worked with them all, and I've worked as a CRA and kind of had my own struggles with acquiring direct business. So what I've decided to do is put that online learning education and of course my experience in the industry and working with so many different CRAs and put together a course that is the first of its kind, actually. It is a professional development course for sales and marketing teams for background screeners. So it's called Revenue Growth Essentials. And the webinar series that I put together today, I've labeled as 3 steps to sales growth. I'm actually going to review the first 3 modules in the course. These are 3 important steps that I think are foundational, fundamental to creating these revenue growth systems that I was able to both create at Social Intelligence and also for my clients now, such as Anne. You'll hear from one more other client in just a second that we've been able to structurize and really systemize what their revenue streams look like. So I really hope that you are curious about it. I really hope that you go check it out. You talk to your team and you discuss how you guys can access the course and make it available to yourself and other members of your team so that you can start utilizing both of the consultant work that I'm doing and the online learning work, which means that it's on demand. You can go at your own pace. You can create the systems on your own. And if you do want extra coaching, there's an option for that as well. The QR code on the screen takes you to the page that describes a lot more about the course. But really quickly, who is this course for? Well, it's for if you're a founding member or a founder or a member of the leadership team of the CRA, of a background screening company, and you have revenue of under $10 million, this course is probably for you. Okay. So where you're going in this stage is that you're in a growth phase, and you're really working on how to scale your systems to get beyond this 10 million stage and get beyond into the next phase. Okay. And when I say under $10 million, you can be very well under it. And as a matter of fact, I think it is crucial when you're really, really small. You may be doing under $1 million a year, maybe even under $500,000 a year, and you're struggling to kind of get your boost in sales and marketing. You might feel like, gosh, these big guys are just taking it all. Is there anything even really left for me? This course is definitely for you. This course is definitely for you if you're a marketing or sales department of one. I've been there, my friends. At some point at Social Intelligence, it was just me. I was able to hire folks along the way, and having these foundations that I created for our team was absolutely pivotal. And if you're just generally an engaged member of the background screening community, you want to learn more about how business growth works with CRAs and in background screening, then this course is also for you. So what I hope you will, if you are one of those individuals, then you're in the right place. And don't worry, I will kind of clue you in when there's some like key juicy stuff that I'm going to go over here. But at a high level, what we're going to learn today is some key things, right? We're going to talk about streamlining revenue activities. We're going to talk about building scalable systems. We're going to talk about attracting and retaining clients. And we're going to talk about preparing for sustainable growth. So, like I said, once you have some of these foundational things in place, how do you go to the next level? How do you grow your team? Who is the best next hire, especially if you are, a founder or a team of one? Who do you hire next? Is it marketing? Is it sales? What do I do? And how do I create their comp plans so that it makes sense and is aligned to our goals in our company? Okay, so we're getting into step number one here, guys. Step number one is from module one, the revenue growth blueprint. And again, this is a blueprint. This is a system. This is something that you can take with you today and implement this afternoon. You can take this and say, okay, guys, this is how we're going to go about our growth. This is our plan. I've made it for you. You have bonus materials here, and I'll get into what some of those look like. You can download them. We have emails. We have content calendars. I show you exactly when to post stuff on social media, what to say. This is all the system that I've built for you to give you some strengths and some success in your foundational base towards growth beyond your next revenue milestone, especially as you grow beyond those big ones, 1 million, 5 million, and 10 million. So specifically in this module, there are 2 lessons, and lesson number 1 is building a sustainable revenue system. So what's involved? Well, in the course, what I go over is just some basic definitions, right? We all know what marketing, sales, and customer success is. This isn't, revolutionary, but really important to really define and put into practice how we delineate what activities happen in what areas of our business. And I'm careful not to say what departments of our business, but it is areas of our business because sometimes you have one person doing all these things. Even when you are a larger company and you have distinct departments, these departments it is a tale as old as time that these departments have they work really closely together, and then there's some natural tension between them of who should be doing what and what falls under whose responsibilities and how each team supports each other. So understanding the very clear definitions and goals and what you really want to get out of each area of your business is kind of the first step. In the biz we call it rev ops, okay? Revenue operations. And having a streamlined revenue operations, these are the benefits here: process, scalability, and obviously consistent results. We love consistency in background screening. It's something we talk about a lot. It's something we are legally required to do. And so that is really taking that kind of operational lens and putting some operational strengths into your sales growth efforts. Okay. This is a workflow and it's a really simplified one, guys. And if your company is like on the higher end of that revenue area, you're like, Bianca, like we get it. We already know this. Yeah, of course you do. As you should. And if you are on that higher end of the revenue and this is still a little bit messy, well, then definitely key in and pay attention here. This is a workflow that within my first couple weeks at Social Intelligence, I created on a whiteboard, and it was always behind me in many presentations that I did. And I always tell that story because I think it speaks to how much of how much optimization is constantly going into this workflow. Okay. This kind of alignment and creating this kind of alignment is something that is a work in progress. However, it never begins and it never is successful if you aren't able to create a clear path of exactly what the customer life cycle looks like. So when are they first introduced to your company, introduced to really even the concept of background screening or the fact that they might be interested in that concept, from those steps all the way through to their loyalty, to their renewed contracts, to the growth of their account, and becoming not just a client of yours, but an advocate, somebody that you can get case studies from, somebody who will represent your company, and somebody who will say, these are great folks, you should work with them too. So that is what we're trying to accomplish with this. In the course, I go through what the steps you really need to take to start creating the infrastructure. And let's be very clear, the digital infrastructure on how this works. This is all about automation in here. It's not necessarily purely AI based, although there is a lot of benefit and a lot of use to apply AI to help you set this up. This is why you don't necessarily need a huge balloon team to pull some of this stuff off now more than ever. And trust me, guys, sales jobs, marketing jobs out there, they're getting narrower. It's harder and harder for folks to really have this availability of work because of these automation systems. And well, we're not trying to keep anybody out of a job. What we need to do as professionals is elevate our skills, right? And so, if there's a lot of kind of the sales copy and stuff that can be mostly done through AI, and a lot of the automation of the workflows at work, then what we need to do as professionals is enhance our strategic abilities. And this is a big part of what the teaching of the course is how to focus on the strategy and how to keep your goals aligned. Okay, so at the end of every lesson, I try to wrap it up with a lovely little quote. RevOps is your business growth engine. I deeply believe that. Lesson number two, point number two here with the three steps to sales growth is understanding the revenue funnel and metrics. If you are multitasking, come back to me in this lesson here, clue in, get back in here and focus, because this funnel, you have seen some version of this funnel before, but I'm going to share some very specific growth and metrics in here that you can use to compare yourself to see, are your conversions, are you acquiring customers at the same rate as your peers, as your competitors? So I'm going to share some of the statistics in a second. Bear with me. Want to just kind of set up the funnel conversation. You've seen a marketing funnel, you've seen a sale funnel, funnel. A lot of people talk about the funnel here, there, and everywhere. This is sort of my simplified version, especially specifically thinking of our industry, how clients come in, how they stay in, at what point we have difficulty in it. So, not only in the course do I kind of go through like the definitions of what this is, and let's not overlook this stuff. Let's not overlook this stuff and to say, yeah, okay, the stages, yada, yada. It is very important, as a matter of fact, for you to sit down and do an exercise. And I have some worksheets in this course for you to say, what are our activities in each stage of the funnel and how are we doing? So, what do you do for top of funnel? Tofu. Those are the term that we use in the buzz. What are your tofu activities? What are your mofu activities, your middle of the funnel activities? And what are your bofu activities, the bottom of the funnel activities? A lot of times in our industry, people don't really think about it strategically like this. We're not thinking about, we're not meeting our customers where they are. Are they ready to jump into a meeting, really a bottom of the funnel activity? Or do they need to know a little bit more about background screening 101, maybe some compliance stuff? There's a lot of push and I think kind of confusion as to all content is created equal, and it's not. In today's marketplace and today's B2B buyer, we are our algorithms are very specific and curated towards where we are in our lives, what we know and what we don't know, and what education that we're missing. So the activities that you're doing marketing wise during each phase of where your customers or prospective customers are is really important that you stay on message and you lead with an action that creates their movement through the funnel appropriately. Now, in a perfect world, and some people jump right through this funnel, right? And you go from lead entry to meeting and you're off to the races. And we wish, don't we? Oh, we wish that it was that simple and that it was that easy all the time. And generally speaking, it's not. Everybody likes to do their own research. Everybody's their own, Gemini, ChatGPT. We're looking for our own answers here. We love to be independent in our decision making. And so these kind of activities of being intentional at each stage will help you, guide your prospect through the appropriate channels, make them feel empowered and make them feel really confident about the fact that they are choosing you as their vendor and they're going to be partnering you and become the advocate for you as time goes on. So in the course, we go through what these activities are and some of the examples. I have bonus materials in this lesson that give you exact templates to use for top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. These are exact concepts, exact ideas. You can take them, you can run with them. So I've done I worked hard. Okay, my friends, I worked hard. And these are the things that you need to do appropriately. You don't need to overthink it. We've created the framework for you. So what are we talking about? No, and really, why do we kind of, structurize things in this way? Well, it's not just, to give somebody something to do. We need to know what we're good at and what we need to work on. We need to know, the challenges that we're having, and identify areas in the funnel that maybe we need to strengthen and we need to spend more time on. You might be phenomenal at helping folks. What people think, and well, I've seen in the industry, and everybody sort of feels that way. Once we get somebody on the phone, we have a pretty strong like close rate. And that's great. I love that for you. Know that I do, but also know that all of your competitors are the same. Okay. And so what does that mean? It becomes all the more important that you get them into that meeting in the first place. Okay. And so we're going to look at these metrics to determine how that happens and where you're not doing a great job of to get them to convert to that point of the places that you are really good at. Okay. So we have MQLs, SQLs, meeting schedules, deals created, deals closed. To me, and in this course, I teach that, oh, my laptop is dying. So first of all, I'm not going to teach anything unless I plug it in. What I teach is that these are the 5 things that are the most important in any organization, no matter what size you are. And the larger you are, the more chance that you know exactly what I'm talking about here. You might even know these metrics. But I'm going to guess there's not 3 of you on this call that know all of these metrics. I'm impressed if there's ever one. And please do, sound off in the comments here and share in your Q&A if you know what these statistics are at your organization, and if you know what you're doing to address any weaknesses. So MQLs, marketing qualified leads. If you don't know what this acronym is, a marketing qualified lead, essentially think about it this way. Somebody who has visited your website, okay? Somebody who is following you on social media, someone who has even engaged with maybe one of your posts, somebody who has shown interest in your offer at a very high level, meaning they've downloaded maybe background screening 101 ebook, or they've read a few blogs or something like that. They haven't quite taken or shown that they are a buyer, but they've shown they are somebody, who is interested in what you do. Sales qualified lead is that different. The SQLs are ready for a sales conversation. There's different ways to define the difference between an MQL and SQL, but you can essentially think about it as, there are actions they can take, like scheduling a call, really good action that indicates you're probably a sales qualified lead. There's different types of content that are a little more down the funnel. Inquiring about pricing is definitely one. Looking at anything competitive that's comparing you, maybe a battle card from your company to another, things like that. So the reason I go through these definitions is that, and if you are multitasking, this is where I'm going to tell you to come back to me, and that we can look at these statistics and understand where you are in the funnel. This is how the metrics are kind of measured out within the funnel, right? MQLs, SQLs, meeting scheduled, deals closed, deals created. And here are the statistics, guys. Here are the statistics in a B2B marketplace, in background screening as a CRA. I've worked with iCubed. We've really worked on these statistics to figure out where are these ranges of where you should be that shows success. And so when you are, in the wild, I like to call it, this cloud over here, these are folks in the wild that we are trying to bring into our funnel. And so we're hoping to get about 25 or 35% of, let's say, your advertising dollars, or let's say any kind of effort that you have. About 25% to 35% of the time, that should work to get them at least looking at your site or kind of entering in an MQL level. And then it goes on from here, right? 13 to 26 for SQLs, SQLs to meetings. Now there is just a philosophical argument here of SQLs, meetings, and deals created, how quickly things move down there. And you see that reflected in the numbers, right? These are higher, right? When somebody becomes an SQL, the pipeline to meeting and even deal created is pretty strong. And that's pretty typical as well. Deals created, deals closed. We see 15 to 30%. I would say most folks report about 20. 25 is great, 30 is great. So that's what we see. But you can see, at a high level, your statistics here, putting all these numbers together, it means you range anywhere from about 2% to 17% of your total conversion pipeline, meaning all the effort that you're doing to try to get anybody to look at your website, only about 2% of them are actually going to convert into clients and into that loyalty and the high retention. The reason that is important is because there is a numbers game here. There is a large thing to consider when you're thinking about, well, if we improve the MQL to SQL by even 5 percentage points, how many more deals does that create for us? You get my drift here, and that is what we're trying to lay the foundation for in the course and in this framework. So to wrap up point number 2, the funnel is your roadmap for consistent revenue growth. All right, number 3. Ooh, dog, I am so behind. Bear with me. Hopefully you can stay on for a few extra minutes because we're really behind. But I'm going through this in a very deliberate way. So I hope you stay with me. Step number 3, organizing, systemizing revenue. This is module number 2 from my course. Step number 3 for the purposes of our webinar today. And we are talking about prioritizing high impact activities. So the reason we're talking about this is because of everything we just learned. We've learned that, okay, we need to kind of structurize our activities here really deliberately, really intentionally. And we need to start collecting some data of, how we're doing with conversions so that we can understand where we need to improve our activities, maybe improve our skills so that we can increase those conversions and increase deals coming down the pipe. Something that I always say that I made my entire personality at Social Intelligence is relentless prioritization. This is so important, especially when you have a smaller team and really everybody does, guys, even large companies. There's limited resources. You can only do so much at a time. So relentless prioritization is about choosing the activities that are going to give you the highest impact. The examples that I like to show for very effective activities, marketing activities, especially at the kind of creating MQLs or shifting MQLs to SQLs, lead magnets, monthly newsletters, social media posts. Now, these are 3 examples of marketing activities. There's many others, my friends, but these are the ones that if you nail this, then this is the key to getting more sales growth this year for you. So in the course, I go through how to create a lead magnet, what it's all about, how to create a monthly newsletter so that's effective, and social media posts. And again, guys, I have templates for you. I have the exact copy that we see that is effective. So this is, made for you in terms of, even if you're doing these activities, how you can optimize them and make them better. Here's an example of the bonus materials from this lesson. So I give you my content calendar. So the calendar that I use with my clients to show them to organize this. This stuff can feel overwhelming. And so when you have a calendar that's listed out, do this today, do this tomorrow, it's extremely helpful. Again, how to create a lead magnet, monthly newsletters, LinkedIn, primarily as a best practice, guys. It's all yours when you get in the course. So to hear from one more of those clients that is actually a real person that has a pulse, this is Gavin Bray from Alliance 2020. Gavin, thank you for your kind words to me. And also, as somebody who really, really was open to taking on a systemized, more organized approach, and it's made an incredible difference in his sales approach. And he's having a lot more success in 2025 already than 2024. He was at 2024 at this point. So really proud of you, Gavin, and thank you for your partnership. This is a little bit more about the course, guys. Okay, I know we're pretty much at time here, but if you can stay with me for another 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about the course. I'm going to tell you how much it costs, and I'm going to give you a coupon code. So if anything, stick around for that, or at least rewind the replay when you get it tomorrow, so that you can grab that 50% off, my friends. Coupon code. I ain't doing this again. This is a business, my friends. I don't work for free. But we are introing this course so that everybody can be our beta testers. Here is your outline. This is what we're looking at. We've already gone through a couple of these modules, and I have the QR code here again. So if you want to go to the website, the landing page, it describes what is involved in each one of these modules in a little more detail. Takes about 3 hours to get through the entire course. It doesn't have to be done all in one sitting. The nice thing of on-demand learning, of course, is you can break it down. Here's a list of the bonus materials that you get. And yes, my friends, we have a value on all of them. And iCubed is working on developing a library where maybe these are purchased a la carte and as you go. But for now, they're only available through this course. So all those templates and the copy that I said that is done for you, you'll find them all in this course. And this is kind of what the retail price would be if we were kind of put them out there into the world. Again, I cannot emphasize enough how hard I worked on all of these for you. And it's come from years and years of experience. And outside of that, of course, if you were to work with me directly, this is the actual minimum that a 30-day engagement, or I'm sorry, a 90-day engagement would be with our contracts. So you put that together with the bonus materials, you're talking about at a minimum $20,000 that we're helping you, if that's just not in the cards that, you can write a check for this amount of money to get some sales and marketing help this year, well, then great. You don't have to, because this course is a low price. You like that? You like this infomercial I'm doing? Of $9.97. We also accept payments, of course. So, we understand cash flow. And again, like, to me, like, if there was a course like this while I was running social intelligence, like, sign me up, take my money. That's the QR code to, again, learn a little bit more. But wait, there's a VIP option, guys. I'm not going to leave you hanging. If you're just not sure, you're like, okay, this is a lot, but like, I don't have anybody to implement this. I don't really know what to do next. I could sit here and learn all about it, but then what? Well, that's where the VIP experience comes in. And really what that is one-on-one coaching with me. And you have the option of joining group calls as well, so that you can learn from your peers and share ideas. Of course, like promised, a 50% off coupon, guys. So 50% off. We're giving it to webinar attendees, and we're asking for your feedback. In exchange, we want to say, hey, we'll make this 50% off for you right now. This is an inaugural, introductory rate. I need your feedback. What did you learn? Did you like it? What else do you want to learn? What other online courses would be useful to you as you navigate growing your business? What is it that you need from us? I, have been making online courses for years. And again, the whole goal is to make it cost effective for your business. So we want you to take this course and we want you to tell us what you think. There's the QR code. Again, you have the option to do VIP, or you have the option to just get on the course. And right now the VIP experience is the same price as just what the normal cost of the course is. Most people have been signing up for this, to be honest with you guys, because it's like, why not? Why not get a few strategy sessions out of it as well? The course is great, but again, we need to know what we're going to do with it at the end of the day. Okay. Well, it wasn't terrible. 3 minutes over. Could have been worse. That's for sure. I do drabble on sometimes, but I'm not going to lie. I think this was the best one out of the webinar series. So if you are still with me, thank you so much for joining me today. I did not get to any of the questions or the Q&A, and I know that there has been a couple. And so I'm so sorry, but that's the way it goes. I will follow up with you via email. Thank you so much. This QR code takes you to my LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure. So if anything, at the very least, visit me on, let's connect. That's what I'm trying to say. let's connect on LinkedIn. Let's be friends, online and offline. But first things first, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. Even a half an hour out of your day. Hey, we are busy, right? We're running businesses over here. So really appreciate it. Please, please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions at all. And I hope you all have a fabulous Wednesday. Bye.